the independent variable, and the dependent variable. So example, smoking is prominent cause of lung cancer. So the dependent variable is lung cancer is dependent on the independent variable smoking. So ang simple hypothesis is kung ano siya kanang dali na masabtan sa mga researchers, or if mag-conduct man silang research, dali na ni makonduct. So simple ay kanang dali na kayo siya sabtan. So another is complex hypothesis. The complex hypothesis reflects the relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. So example, higher the poverty, higher the illiteracy in society, higher will be the rate of crime. So complex hypothesis is kanina siya mga komplikado nga things nga i-conduct sa mga researchers.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Gisa Medindrina, and this is the sumpay sa type of research hypothesis. Number 3, empirical hypothesis. An empirical hypothesis is also called as the working hypothesis. It is presumed to explain certain facts and relationships of phenomena. It comes to life when a theory is being put to the test using observation and experiment. From this name itself, working, it would mean that it can be changed or replaced anytime as soon as it is no longer supported or accepted based on the observation and experimentation being done. It is going through some trial and error and perhaps changing around those independent variables. So, ang empirical hypothesis, kaya gitawag po siya o working hypothesis. Working hypothesis means is a hypothesis adapted as a guide to experiment or investigation or as a basis of action. So, mula sa mismong pangalang nagtatrabaho, it means that maaari itong baguhin o ilisdan kung sa man nga oras. So, niagi po ni siya mga pagsubok o pagkakabalik. So, example na is, plants watered every day grow faster than plants watered once a week. So, here trial and error are leading to a series of findings. So, number 4, logical hypothesis. Logical hypothesis expresses explanation with limited evidence that can be verified logically. It reflects a relationship of the variables which are unsure based on a logical phenomena. Sometimes a logical hypothesis can be turned into an empirical hypothesis in which you have to test your theories and postulates. So sometimes ang logical hypothesis pwedeng gawing isang empirical hypothesis kung asa kailangan na sulayan imong mga teorya o postulates. Example, tomato plants bear fruit faster in earth than in moon. So, until we can test the soil and plants grow in a moon ground, the evidence for this claim will be limited and the hypothesis will only remain logical. So, number 5, statistical hypothesis. A statistical hypothesis is an analysis of a portion of a population. It can be verified statistically. The variables in a statistical hypothesis can be transformed into a quantifiable some variable to assist it statistically. So, ang statistical hypothesis is ay isang pagsusuri ng isang bahagi ng isang population sa statistical na pwedeng mabago sa quantifiable. Quantifiable means it's able to be expressed as amount, quantity, or numerical. Example. 1. If your research is about the psychological development of key to 3 pupils of the private and public schools in the city, you would want to examine every single key to 3 pupils in the city. It is not a practical. So, therefore, you could you would conduct your research using a statistical hypothesis or sample. Kailangan pa yung sample of sa population sa key to 3 pupils. So, number 6. No, 6. Null hypothesis. The null hypothesis is denoted with a symbol HO or hydrogen. It exists when you consider that there is no relationship between the independent variables or that there is an insufficient amount of information to claim as scientific hypothesis. So, ang null hypothesis is tinutukoy na simbolo ng hydrogen na umiiral kapag sila sa alang-alang mo na tulatag na yan sa pagitan ng mga independenteng variable o naiti na sakto ang kalagang sa information na para ma-claim ang isang scientific hypothesis. So, example, there is no significant change in my health whether I exercise every day or not. So, number 7, alternative hypothesis. An alternative hypothesis is denoted with a symbol HA or hanyu. It is an alternate statement expressed to place in order to generate the desired output when the empirical or working hypothesis is not accepted in an attempt to disprove a null hypothesis. You tend to seek an alternative hypothesis. So, gitukoy ano yung simbolo sa hanyu. Example is, my health improves during the times when I sleep 8 hours a day than sleeping for 4 hours only.
Hi ma'am, I am Regine A. Pacquiao. So this is my report. Directional hypothesis. Directional hypothesis predicts the nature of the effect of the independent variable. On the dependent variable, it predicts in which direction the change will take place. So, example, adults will correctly recall more needs than children. Ang directional hypothesis kay kanang mura bitaw kanang diretso na walay daghang puti nga ano sa diretso na siya. So, non-directional hypothesis. A non-directional hypothesis is predicts that the independent variable will have an effect on the dependent variable, but the direction of the effect is not specified. It just states that there will be an difference. So, example, there will be a difference in how many numbers are correctly recalled by children and adults. So, ang non-directional kay kana bitaw murag dili kanang daghan pa kayong puti usa ka makakuan sa kanang research na. Tapos dire guidelines and formulating hypothesis. Number 1, before writing your specific hypothesis, spend more time researching about the topic you are interested in. Focus on information and review studies related to your topic. So, baka ka nang, before ka magsulat, dapat mag-study sa dito ka para sure nga sakto dito mo makuha ba. So, number 2, your independent variable and dependent variable must be included in your hypothesis. So, ang imong independent variable, dapat kauban na gina sila sa kuan sa hypothesis. Number 3, the relationship of your variables must be included in your hypothesis. Well, your independent variable affect your independent variable. Number 3, ang relasyon sa inyong variable ay kanang kanang kauban na gyapon sila ba variable o ang hypothesis dapat direkit na sila magkuan. So number 4, your hypothesis should be simple and specific as possible. If your hypothesis is complicated, it would be difficult to find the answer to your question. So, ang dapat imong hypothesis kay simple ra kung mahimo kay kung kuan wala gud way klaro kanang hindi masabtan. So maghimo gid kag simple para maka-answer ka sa mga pangutanan. So number 5, your hypothesis should be concise and compresses clear and simple language. Make it short and simple for it easily understand and any misunderstanding. So, motto, dapat ang imong hypothesis, balag gamay siya, pero kanang ang kinahanglan or mas importante kanang maklaro, masabtan.
Number 6, your hypothesis should be stable without violating ethical standards. It means that it could be investigated and measured through a scientific methods such as statistical analysis and data interpretation.
So, dapat ang imong hypothesis kay wala siya may labag sa mga kuan dito. Sa mga unsay angay buhaton nana. Number 7. Ang imong hypothesis
Number 7, your hypothesis must be reliable. It means that your hypothesis can be proven wrong through experiments or empirical data. There are no absolute answers to research questions, but there is a possibility in validating the hypothesis to be true beyond a reasonable doubt. Ang imong hypothesis daw kay kanang pwedeng may bawaan nga mali kung ning kana bitaw sa pamamagitan ng kanang empirical data.